So I take the test, I score high, I get in the Air Force. And that's when I'm like, man, I'm gonna be a pararescueman. And this is when I realized, man, I teach myself how to swim. I taught myself how to swim, but this is when I realized, man, that I'm negative buoyant as hell. And there's a lot of things. So what gets people in special operations is the water. Not swimming, but the water confidence. When they're like taking your air from you and you're underwater panic. I realized I was very uncomfortable. So long story short, I was there for 6 weeks. I was moving on pretty well. I was second in my class. And I was getting through all the water confidence, but barely. But I wanted to quit every fucking night. I didn't go to sleep every night. Just paranoid of the next day of getting back in that pool. So 6 months go by, we had this medical examination and they draw my blood and they say, you have sickle cell. Sickle cell is a blood disease that some African Americans have. Basically, you know, if something happens under stressful situations, stroke, heart attack, sudden death. This happened to a few African Americans in the military, so they pulled me from training saying, you can't do this job. And when you live a very stressed out life, like I was living, that's your norm. So not sleeping, being scared, that was my norm. I wasn't gonna quit. But when they pull you out of training,
I agree with you.
And now I'm fucking comfortable.
I agree with you.
So now I'm seeing my class of 24 guys, it was like 150, now it's 24 guys, and they're in the pool and I'm on the side of the pool, I'm not in the water now, I'm seeing what I was doing. I'm seeing these guys struggling, panicking in the water, like wanting to quit. I'm like, fuck that.
Wow.
I'm not going. So now I'm comfortable. And I'm able to see now I'm not going back. So now my big dream of being a pararescueman, I'm now seeing that do this. I'm like, I want to get out of the Air Force.
Wow.
I don't even want to be in the fucking military. So this is what I'm saying. So I'm hoping now that this sickle cell thing is going to get me kicked out of the military. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back in the fucking, I'm done. So I'm like getting happy because now I'm like, I won't quit. They're going to medically drop me from the course. This is great. I can keep my head up. I learned how to read, I learned how to write, I passed the ASVAB test, but I'm fixing everything on the surface. I'm not going into the fucking dungeon. So the doc calls up, I go back to the doctor's, I'm like skipping down there thinking, I'm getting out of here, man. Medically discharged. He goes, man, you know what? You were doing good in your class and we don't really know, we don't know how you got this far with this, whatever, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna put you back in the training. I'm like, fuck. So, but I'm thinking now, I only have about a couple, 2.5 weeks left of training, cause I missed a week and some change. I'll go, you know what, great, man. I have to suck this up, man. I can do this. So I'm trying to motivate myself on the way back to my CEO, my command officer, Sergeant Lundberg. I get to Sergeant Lundberg. Sergeant Lundberg looks at me and says, Goggins, man, that's great. You're back in the training. You got to start from day one. Because I'm at critical parts of training. I can't miss that many days. And I'm like, but I was a great liar. And I didn't want to look at a hardcore man and tell him that I just fucking quit. So I looked at him and said, hey, you know what, Sergeant, man, this sickle cell thing, man, the doc was talking about sudden death, stroke, heart attack. I didn't give a fuck about sickle cell. But I didn't know anything about it. I knew I was struggling. I knew I had some health issues, but I just thought because I was killing myself at what I was doing. And he said, you know what, you're right, man. I wouldn't want to do that either. So he gave me a medical out of pararescue. And he said, when we figure this out more, we'll have you come back. I wasn't ever going back. I'm like, I'm never getting back in the fucking water again, but I was able to leave on a medical. But I quit.
You quit. Why do you admit it? Why do you tell this story?
I have to. Because everybody thinks I'm the world's toughest motherfucker that ever lived. And I might be somewhere about that now, but that's where I was. And I tell the story because if I just talk about, I broke the pull-up record, I did all these fucking races, I went through SEAL training, I was in 3 hell weeks, Ranger school. If I talk about all the badassery, like we like to do on social fucking media, and I don't tell you that I was a fucked up kid, and I was scared as shit, and I was depressed and insecure, and all this shit, what good am I for anybody?
Right.
I'm a superhero, but I'm a liar. I'm that now, but I wasn't born that.
Yeah.
I had to make myself into this shit.
It's amazing to me that this, you won't accept it this way, but like this military icon, but not really like a social icon too. Like when people aspire to be tough and mentally tough, I mean, there are UFC fighters that when they win fights now, quote you in their post-conference interviews. I don't even know if you know that or not, but like I'll watch it. They're like, Goggins says, you know, seriously. So that guy kind of bullshits his way out of the military.
Right.
Like that's staggering. And then that guy, if you don't mind me jumping ahead a little bit,
good?
Then that guy ends up kind of living in an apartment, gains a ton of weight, gets up to almost 300 pounds, killing cockroaches as an exterminator. This is just crazy where we're going to go right now. So, and then where we're going to go after that's even more bananas. But go ahead, jump back.
So what's funny though, so I get out of pararescue, so I go to a job called TACP. Just real quick about that. It's a great fucking job, one of the best jobs in the military, but I'm all poopy past now 'cause I'm not pararescueman. So I'm thinking TACP, some weak ass motherfuckers.
Right.
TACP.
Right. Del Toro.
Is one of the best fucking jobs in the world. But my mind, once again, has me shackled, and I'm thinking I'm not a pararescueman. So I'm like, you know, TACP was a great job. I had great friends in it, and I did it pretty well. But I could have been so much better. My mind was once again hijacking me. So I get out, but from the time from 1994 to 1999 or 1998, I go from 175 pounds to 297. Not much education. 4.5 years in the military, I started spraying for cockroaches and making $1,000 a month. And I had an $810 apartment.
Oh.
So I'm scrounging, dude.
Yeah.
And so my life is hard. And but fuck it, I'm spraying for cockroaches from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's my life. But once again, man, you can't lie to yourself. I can lie to you, and I can lie to everybody else, and I was great at it. But buddy, every fucking day in that dirty mirror, that accountability mirror was no more. Fuck that accountability mirror, let's just fucking shave my head and go to work. But I saw my reflection every day, but I really didn't know how fat I was. I didn't really want to look at myself. But I was haunted. These demons were in my head every day. Man, you ain't shit, man. God, dog, man. You wear this fucking uniform. You get in your fucking Ecolab truck. You go spray for cockroaches. You fucking go in the kitchens. You eat your fucking brownies and shit in the back kitchen. You make shakes and shit while you're in there, man. I was like, fuck, man. So I come home, and I'll never forget it. I used to spray down Steak and Shake. My last stop at about 6:30 at night. Or 6:30 in the morning, I spray down Steak and Shake, and they had this big, large shake. They gave me this special cup, and they just dumped the fucking chocolate milkshake in there, and I go across the street to 7-Eleven. I had a 45-minute commute home, and I'd go over to 7-Eleven and get these chocolate donuts, like the mini Hostess donuts, and I was popping them like fucking Tic Tacs, dude. It was like I'd eat it, I just fucking pop it, boom. This be driving, listening to the radio, popping them like Tic Tacs, drinking the shake. So by the time I got home, that box of donuts was gone. My mom lived about 2 miles down the road because she moved to Indianapolis, Indiana now. So what would happen is this. So I would eat that, and my routine was this. Shit you not, my breakfast was not that. That was my snack for my 45. So now, my mom, and this is no fucking shit, my breakfast, you know those fucking Pillsbury cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
You got the 5, you got the 8.
Yeah.
I had the 8. So you had the 8, she baked that shit, and then it was 7 to 8 scrambled eggs hard, and half a pound of bacon well done, and I would chase that motherfucker down with Fruity Pebbles, 2 bowls, or Fruit Loops, something sugary. That was my breakfast after the fucking donuts and the shake. So this day though, I get home, call my mom up on the phone. She goes, "You want your staple?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want my fucking staple," you know? And that's how I talk to my mom. You know, me and my mom came from some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
She go, "Man, why you cuss so much?" Because my life wasn't easy.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it for you. So my mom cusses at me because, but we have a great relationship. Okay, great, come over. And so at this time, my routine was to come home, turn the TV on, listen to the TV, like blare it, because like literally, I had this big living room, and my shower was like back down the hallway. So I turned the TV on and like blare the TV and kind of like listen to it a little bit as I showered. I'm hearing Navy SEAL. Heard about them, knew about them, but now I want to come out and see what they're fucking talking about. 'Cause I heard World's Toughest. So I come out and watch this documentary. I come out, I had my towel and I had my shake down on the counter. I have this little fucking TV in this huge living room. So I'm looking at the TV and I'm leaning forward and I'm watching this shit, and it pretty much goes through first phase, second phase, and third phase, but they concentrate on Hell Week. But all I saw was the Pacific Ocean.
Right, water again.
Dude, I saw nothing but water. More water than pararescue. And these guys are like going from this big class to this, it shows them quitting. And I see nothing but this jackhammer. Guys, snot bubbles and just rolling around, sugar cookies, and in and out of the surf. And carrying these boats and logs. I'm like, fuck that, man. That shit looks evil. But guys, as they quit, I saw like their soul leaving their bodies almost on screen, because this look came over them. And I imagined, I remember myself back in pararescue training, I bet that's how I fucking looked in front of that fucking Sergeant Lundberg. And I bet he could see in my eyes that I was basically quitting. He knew I was quitting. He just gave me a medical. That motherfucker knew it. As a man looking at another man, you know when the man's done. And I'm like, so I thought about Sergeant. I said, that motherfucker knew I was quitting, dude. He just didn't. He saved me and didn't want to tell me I was quitting. He knew it, because I can look at somebody now and say, okay, dude, you're good, but I know you're quitting. It ain't your fucking knee or your back or whatever. You're quitting. He saw that in me, and I said, motherfucker, man. So now I'm watching these guys go through training, and it goes down to 22 guys are left, and it was amazing how it ended. Because these words, I don't know them exactly, but it's in my book exactly. And this commanding officer's at graduation, and these 22 guys graduate buds, SEAL training. And his commanding officer's in his dress whites. He's up there, some old skinny fucking commander, but you could tell he's been through the shit. Salty looking motherfucker. And he's looking hard, and this speech was amazing. He goes, we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. And he looked down at the 22 men, and he says something about basically you all detest mediocrity. And he goes on to talk about this mediocrity and shit. And I just sat back and I said, God, man, I just want to be like these motherfuckers. I want to feel, because now I was projecting myself in those chairs. I want to, how do y'all feel like right now? And I go, I want to feel like you do. You 22 men, I want to feel like that, man. I said, I'm tired of feeling the way I feel every day. I'm tired of how I feel. I'm tired of lying to myself, lying to people, and just being some piece of shit. And I always knew in the back of my mind I could be something special.
Yes.
But I knew the work it was gonna take was gonna kill me. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of the brutality and the suffering I was gonna have to endure. But I knew I could do something. But I'm like, I ain't trying to do that kind of work, man. I'm just not trying to do that. So I chose the path of of least resistance. So now my idea is, it became so haunting and daunting on me, myself, that I said, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah.